Hi, everybody. This is Erica from In the Company of Cards. Happy Friday. Tomorrow is No Kings Day Redux. We had one in June. This is maybe I think this is the third one, promises to be the biggest one. And I told you that I would come on and look at the energy of the day. Before I do that, I just want to say if you thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, boosting or hyping, whatever hyping I guess it's called. Um, Check and see if you thought you were subscribed, make sure you are still subscribed because apparently every so often, whatever, for YouTube's own algorithmic reasons, they will dump a bunch of subscribers. So all you have to do is just check if you're not subscribed, just hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell too, so that you can be notified every time I put up a video. Uh, Tomorrow I'll be talking to Dr. Lena, but I'll probably put that up Sunday because we're going to be talking in the evening after the day's events. So look for that on Sunday. So I think what I'll do is first pull, these are all shuffled already. This is my black tarot. I think I'm going to pull a tarot deck. I have all of the cards here. I didn't pull out the majors this time. I mixed the majors in with the rest of the cards. Um, and I thought I would pull a card that will give us a sense of the overarching energy of tomorrow. Of course, we on this side are all, looking forward to it, excited about it. Maybe, a little concerned, but we're not nearly as concerned, and we're concerned for very different reasons. Um, not nearly as concerned as the red team is, to be crude and call it a team thing. But they are calling it terroristic, anti-American, unpatriotic, whatever. Meanwhile, it's the opposite of all of that, right? So I want to look and see what their response will be. Just want to look at the overarching energies of the day. So I think the first thing I'll do is pull a tarot card, and I'm just gonna, because tarot is such a big deck that I'm just gonna, you know what else I'm gonna do? Um, I'm gonna use my pendulum and see where it would like me to land. Definitely is going on this side of the deck. Okay, I'm gonna pull this card. It's the Fool. Okay, and I will. I pulled out I have my Rider Waite in order so that it's easy for me to show you both cards. So this is the Rider Waite Fool. Notice that this person is stepping off a cliff, um, but they have everything they need in that little sack that they're carrying on the stick. And they're not even watching their footing. They are trusting that they will be led in the right direction. Uh, in the Black Tarot, we have this is the Fool. And I love that he's got angel's wings. I love that he's got the moon phases all around him. And I mentioned this in my Substack, which, by the way, was free for everybody to read. I opened up the paywall just for yesterday's post. So go check it because the card that we had, the tarot card that we had, also had this full moon in this part of the anatomy of the character in that card. And this is called in Chinese medicine, this place on your anatomy, it's just under your belly button, is called the Dantian. And it's like a power center, that Dantian. Um, it is the source of your sense of balance. It holds your genetic code. It's really powerful. Love that he's got angel's wings as well. And looks like walking into the water. and not a bit worried about whether the water will drown him any more than the traditional fool is worried about falling off the cliff and being drowned. So that's really a good thing. We are doing something extraordinary. We're doing something that astrologically is what was done during the time of the revolution. These are revolutionary times, and I hope you're all understanding that you chose to come here for this revolutionary time. I'm sure that you, like me, many a day wake up and say, "Oh, why? Why couldn't I have skipped this chapter?" But we chose to come here for this. So, however you're going to participate tomorrow, whether you are marching, whether you are supporting people who are marching, whether you're going to monitor action on your laptop or your phone, um, you are part of this revolution. I have said a zillion times, do not be surprised when you turn to the left of you or the right of you and you find people that you wouldn't think would have been part of this. Because we all have a common foe, and that is a felon who wants to be a king. And this is a message to him tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a message to him. So we have the fool, and part of that fool, what the fool's all about is, this is charted territory because we did it during the Revolutionary War, as I said. But it's certainly uncharted for many people in these days. It is absolutely reminiscent of the Vietnam era and, of course, the Civil Rights era. But a lot of people are, too young to remember that time. But this is astrologically happening just as it should, and I think it will be the beginning of the end of what we've been experiencing. Long way to go still, but let's see what Lenormand has to say. So we know we've got the Fool, and these cards as well are shuffled. So I'm just going to, I think I'm going to use the Garden um, for tomorrow because the garden is all of us being out there, outside. It's a gathering, and there will be gatherings not just here in the States, but all over the world. There are many countries that are holding their own marches in solidarity with us. Whether or not they themselves have a king is not the point. They know that we don't want one. And so they are holding their own events in solidarity, which I think is great. Okay, so I'm going to use the garden as our significator. That will be tomorrow, um, and see what's around. Okay. Okay, so this stands for the No Kings protest, and all of us participating however we're doing that. So that goes in the center, and then the two cards that come before it go there, and the two cards that come after it go there. And I'm going to pull some clarifiers, of course. I'll pull three for each card. And then I'm going to pull, desk is a little crowded, but I'm going to pull a final three card postscript. Okay. So this is for tomorrow. So we have the heart, we have the bear, We have the garden, which stands for the day itself. We have the mountain, and we have the scythe. I think that the news on how the day will go will be mixed. Um, So, a few things. First of all, the heart. Now, we know, oh, the heart's love. That's great, but it's not February, and we're not talking about Valentine's Day. But we are talking about love of the country that we would like this one to become, which, by the way, is a country that it's never been. But what we envision as that more perfect union that we're always trying to make better. So, this is love of country. I will say, too, though, and I've been saying this for a while. I'm not the only one. But again, I'm a card reader. I could be right, I could be wrong. But what struck me also is when I looked to see what that last card in the line was that I'm going to mirror it with, I thought, oh, so this is not necessarily only about our patriotic love of country and our desire to make this place better than it has ever purported to be or actually been, in fact. But the final line in the original line of five is the scythe. And you've seen me talk about this before. I will say that the felon feels all kinds of ways about this, which is why he's got Zelensky at the White House, why he's talking about he's going to go to Hungary to meet Putin next week. He's yakety yakking about a lot of things, but he's a nervous wreck. His polls are in the dumpster. And this can be, um, his heart feeling it. And I don't mean heartbreak, I mean anatomical heart having issues. Heart, if you know what I mean. So that could happen. That could happen. The second card is the bear, and that's his narcissistic self. We have the garden in the middle, but the card that I can mirror the bear with is the mountain. So we will be sending him a message that we intend to stop him, that the buck stops with the people, that the government only serves at the pleasure of the people. And if the people do not find it pleasurable, the government can't stand. Uh, Certainly, the narcissist in chief can't. So this will be a message to him that he is being blocked from being a king. So I like that because it's Spirit knows what the subject is. That heart and scythe are very interesting to me. So, watch this space for that. We're going to go back to that heart and we're going to go vertically. And the clarifiers are the anchor, the felon, and the White House. So, the felon believes that the White House is his for all time. If he didn't, he wouldn't be putting a ballroom that's bigger than the whole place in it, altogether. He wouldn't be putting that in. He wouldn't have made everything all gold and gross. He wouldn't have, torn up the rose garden, etc. He thinks this is his house. He also thinks he's going to be there forever. Does that not speak to kingship? He thinks that this is his house forever and for always. He's planting his flag, his anchor there. We move a little bit forward in time with this second card, which is the bear. This is him at his most narcissistic and ugliest. And the clarifiers are the whip, the scales, and clover. I think that, certainly his instinct coming from this kind of energy is to whip people back into line and to use the law to do it. And he wants it done, as they say, quick, fast, and in a hurry. He wants this rebellion uh, squashed. So we know that going in, right? I mean, what did you expect him to throw open the doors of the White House and say free McDonald's for everybody? No. So as we walk into this day, know that he has planted himself behind the Resolute desk, in the chair that he considers to be a throne, that he doesn't intend to go anywhere. Um, Also, the fact that he wants to punish people for having the nerve, the unmitigated gall to tell him he's not a king. That's that second line. So he will want to punish the people. Here we have the people coming out for No King's Day, and the clarifiers are the older woman, the younger man, and the stork. I like this very much. So this is everybody. This is the protest. This is yin energy, and I'm reminding you of the same thing everybody's reminding you of course, I'm sure, which is that this needs to remain nonviolent. It's not to say there won't be provocateurs planted to make it look violent, but then, make yourself scarce. Do not stand anywhere near those people. Um, you know, we will remain nonviolent. But nonviolence doesn't mean non-action, because this is revolutionary energy of people who are willing to stick their necks out, have their gaze centered on the more perfect part of the union that we want to create. This is courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's doing it anyway in the face of fear, right? And then we have the stork. Tomorrow is a step towards our making this a better place. The stork is about positive change, and isn't that why everybody's going to be out tomorrow? Okay. Now, the fourth card after the garden is the mountain. When I was going horizontally, I could mirror this with the narcissist in chief, that he will be blocked. When Congress and the world see that nobody wants a king, Congress is going to have to get themselves together and get with the program, or they won't be on the program. So he is going to be stopped. Now, wait till I show you the clarifiers for this. If you've been following me a long time, I won't even have to say anything. I mean, I will say something, but I won't even have to say anything, because a lot of you are going to be like, ooh, which I kind of am myself in the moment. But let's just cut to the chase, shall we? Now, remember what I said about the potential meaning of the heart and the scythe. You know, Elizabeth, it's the big one. I'm coming home. You get it? Okay. So here's our mountain clarifiers: the lily, the coffin, and the cross. I'm going to say this. Um, he could have a cardiac event, because that would be heart and scythe. But beyond that, I'm not, okay, I'll cut to the chase. I'm stalling. Lily and coffin are a traditional combination that refer to um, physical death. Um, Now that I'm going vertically, we're not going horizontally, so we're not talking about him, unfortunately. Uh, I have referenced Kent State more times than I care to. And if you don't know what Kent State is, Google it. I have also mentioned that I think we're coming on a season for martyrs, because the energy of the moment astrologically doesn't just echo 1776. it also echoes 1968. And if you are of a certain age, I don't need to remind you of the significance of 1968 and the years immediately preceding and following it. It was an era of martyrs, and the martyrs were Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, John Kennedy, Robert Kennedy Sr. Um, so we will have, his little brown shirt ICE agents out there, untrained, eager, and uh, lusting after blood. Uh, I do think that there are official elements like National Guard, police, military who will not be inclined to attack the people. But certainly, I can't say that about ICE. That's their stock in trade, is it not? The police, they say, are there to protect and serve. ICE did not take any such vow, any such oath to protect and serve. That's not why ICE is there. So I think there could be um, injuries, we'll just say, but with Lily and Coffin, um, injuries that are so severe that people don't make it. Just throwing that out there because it's on the table. And with this mountain, I mean, I will say this about the cross. The cross is a card of pain, but it's also a card of sacrifice. They want us to be too afraid to go outside. That's what they want. They want everybody to stay home. We can't stay home. This revolutionary energy calls for everyone to do what they can do towards this revolutionary effort. Um, I think that, I remember all of those eras that I was talking about with you, the civil rights and um, Vietnam and all of that, Kent State. Um, I will say that when these events happen, kind of like what happened with George Floyd, the world sort of the country, we'll just leave it at the country pauses and examines itself. Now, granted, the pause and the self-examination never last as long as they should or go as deep as they ought to. I mean, we all witnessed that with the George Floyd situation. People felt bad and then they didn't. I'm just saying. Um, but this will be another one of those moments where the nation pauses and everyone has to stop and say, you know, people were sacrificed for what? So he could be a king? Just, bear these cards in mind, be careful. Um, but what revolution would not have that line of cards, right? The fifth card is the scythe, and the clarifiers are the moon, the key, and the mice. I actually I like all of them. This will be a blow, a death blow even, I'm going to say, to the felon's reputation. I mean, and it seems like no matter how many death blows his reputation gets, I mean, 34 felonies, come on. He's Teflon Don, as they call him. But this one will be a bad one, and it will be the blow because we have the key. And the key is the thing that unlocks everything that needs to be unlocked. And I actually like the mice here because he will be afraid. Um, I also do think he will be feeling some some physical heart stuff go on. I really do. I think that he knows people don't like him, but I think when he sees millions of people in the street making a case against him, you know, even a narcissist can't ignore that. And nor can a narcissist like him sustain themselves in the face of something like that. It's like an ultimate narcissistic wound from which there is no recovery. The Congress will be watching. And so one of the things that will happen, I think, is that the Congress slowly, inch by inch, will start to peel away from him. Because I mean, are you going to be for him or are you going to be for the millions of people that put you in office? Just saying. Um, I drew a postscript that's a sort of just a three-card postscript. We have the bouquet, the crossroads, and the birds. So tomorrow we will have given ourselves and democracy a gift. The bouquet is a gift. We will be clear that we are choosing a different path from the one the felon wants to take us down. And this people will be talking. Congress will be talking. People will meet people on the street. People next to you. I just said that you would never in a million years think you'd have anything in common with. Well, you have this in common. So there will be all kinds of alliances and meetings and conversations and connections made as a result of tomorrow. And I think, you'll be able to mark tomorrow as a red letter day, as a day that will go down, I think, in history as important as the revolution. Remember, the revolution took more than a day. The storming of the Bastille, the storming of Versailles took more than a day. This will not be a one and done, but we're asked to trust the process, to trust each other, and to trust democracy in its purest, truest form, which we have never exercised, by the way, but we have an opportunity to step off, to wade in, and to say, this is what we want democracy to look like. So I wish everybody well tomorrow. Be safe. Apparently, the color of the day is yellow. I don't think I own anything yellow, but I'll see what I can do. I think I have a sweatshirt that's yellow. Yellow, the color of hope and the sun. Uh, I'd wear long sleeves. I know if it's hot, I mean, I know nobody wants to wear long sleeves. I just think long sleeves are good. Be sure you have written down any phone numbers that you'll need. Be sure that your phone is off because, uh, and bring water, maybe some electrolytes those packets if you can get those to give out. People put them in their water and in case anybody's feeling funny from the heat. Hopefully it won't be hot anywhere, but here it's going to be kind of hot, I think. Uh, but you know, tomorrow I'll be debriefing about everything with Dr. Lena, and you can watch that Sunday. And we came here for this. We came here for this. So I will see everybody on the flip side. And again, if you thought you were subscribed, you may not be. YouTube may have you may have been culled in the great culling that they periodically do for whatever reason. So just make sure that if you think you're subscribed or you'd like to be subscribed, be sure you've hit that subscribe button and the notification button. And thank you so much. I read all your comments and really appreciate them. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, um, subscribing, and I will see you soon. Take care. Be safe tomorrow.